Mr. Flores, if you'll raise your right hand. Sir, do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, go and have a seat. Mr. Praley, you may begin.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please state your full name, spelling your last for the record?
Name Joshua Flores, Flores.
How are you currently employed?
I am currently a police officer for the city of Greeley.
How long, sir?
5 years.
All right, because you're our first officer to testify, can you just generally discuss about the training that goes into becoming a police officer?
Absolutely. Consists of about 4 or 5 months of academy, followed by another 3 months of in-house training, including street work. So probably about 7 to 8 months before we're actually on the street as patrol officers.
And can you describe then what it means to be a patrol officer?
Absolutely. So our duties include just responding to calls for service, investigating allegations of criminal incidents, making arrests based on our findings and investigations.
What is your current position with the Greeley Police Department?
I am currently assigned to patrol as a patrol officer.
And is that the same capacity as you were on October 3rd of 2021?
Yes, sir.
Sir, on October 3rd, 2021, were you dispatched to a 2413 15th Avenue court?
That is correct.
Where is that located in terms of what city?
That is in the southern part of Greeley, central southern part of Greeley.
Is that Weld County, Colorado?
That is correct, yes.
Can you describe the general process of how you receive information from dispatch to actually go to a scene?
Absolutely. So dispatch will air the information to us, that is through the radio. In addition to that, we do have our computers in our vehicles that also provide us additional information.
All right. So fair to say that you don't actually get to hear a 911 call as it's occurring?
That is correct.
You're receiving notes as to where to go and what the situation is?
Correct.
Okay. Sir, we're going to take a moment by stipulation to play the 911 call, but I want to make it clear you didn't actually hear that on the night in question of October 3rd.
That is correct.
Your Honor, by stipulation of the parties, the people are moving to admit and publish People's Exhibit 147 at this time?
And from the defense, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. The court will admit into evidence by stipulation states 147, and you may publish.
No, there's a pop up line.
Okay, what's the address?
I can't see the number. I'm next door.
Okay, what's your house address?
2413 Avenue Court.
Okay,
Colorado.
what's the word?
I think that's
From that
24.
that's on fire.
It's at 2413.
Mr. Praley, can you pause that and can the parties approach?
I think there's someone in.
Okay, what's your phone number in case we get disconnected?
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, just give us a second. We're going to try and fix this audio issue.
No, there's a house on fire.
Okay, what's the address?
I can't see the number. I'm next door.
Okay, what's your house address?
2413 Just 2413 15th Avenue Court,
Okay,
City,
and
Colorado.
where's the
I think that
from that address,
Two,
where's
four.
the house that's on fire?
it's at 2413 15th Avenue Court.
Okay,
I think there's someone in there.
okay, what's your phone number in case we get disconnected?
I don't know, man.
Okay,
Apparently, Greeley, Colorado.
okay, I'm trying
At
970-473-9047,
2413.
is that correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
that sounds good. That house is fire. Somebody's in there, I think.
okay, I have this, and just to confirm, is that gonna be a house or an apartment?
If that house is on fire, man,
Okay,
you need to get the firemen here.
they're coming as fast as they can, okay, what makes you think that someone's inside?
Because there's a dog barking and there's a car in this place. Man, you gotta get to the fire department.
Okay.
Please.
They're coming as fast as they can, okay?
Okay.
Just stay on the line with me, did you go into the
Okay.
house?
Hell no, it's burning like crazy.
Okay,
It's 2413 15th Avenue Court,
I have them
Greeley,
coming,
Colorado.
I have them coming, I have all the information in here, what was your name?
My name's Mike.
Okay, Mike, do you know the people that live there?
I just know Chris. Chris. The guy's name is Chris who lives here.
Okay,
Chris.
I need you to get away from the house to make sure you're at a safe distance, okay?
Yeah. Chris. Dang, nabbit.
Do you know what part of the house is on fire, or is it
The
just
whole house,
everywhere?
the whole front of the house is on fire, man. The garage and everything.
Okay,
I hear sirens. I hope that's their coming.
they're coming as fast as they can. Is he the
Okay,
only
I
one that
appreciate
lives there?
I think he is, yeah. Here they come. I see the light. Here's the police.
Okay, and I just need
We-
to, go ahead.
We've been trying to wake him up. We don't know if there's someone in there or not.
Who is that you're
I
talking to?
think, I think Chris is in there, the policeman.
Okay, I'll go ahead and let you go, okay?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome, bye-bye.
Bye.
Sorry about the audio issue, sir. Now you've been able to hear that, but the information you had would be written on a screen.
It would have been written on the screen or aired through dispatch briefly, yes.
What time do you arrive to this location?
By recollection, approximately 5:45 in the morning.
Okay. Can you just generally describe to the jury what your observations were when you got there?
Absolutely. Yeah. So as my partner and I arrived, we saw residents completely engulfed in flames. As we approached, obviously, we did see some neighbors yelling, trying to, I guess, get the attention of the neighbor that was potentially inside. Everything was completely on fire.
And sir, during this time period, can you describe what you're wearing?
Yes, so in addition to my uniform, I am wearing a body-worn camera that captures the general aspect of what I'm looking at.
Sir, I'm going to approach with what's been marked as People's Exhibit 5. Have you been able to watch this today?
I have.
How can you tell that you've been able to watch it?
I have signed and initialed, or I have initialed and dated this.
Is People's Exhibit 5 a fair and accurate copy of your body-worn camera as it pertains to first arriving dealing with the fire?
That is correct.
Your Honor, at this time, I move for the admission of People's Exhibit 5 with permission to publish.
All right, thank you. Any objection from the defense?
Would incorporate our previous record, but just note 403 if the court wants us to approach.
Why don't you go ahead and approach, just to. All right, I will admit State's Motion 5 into the record, and Mr. Praley, you may publish where appropriate.
Thank you. Sir, to be clear, is there audio in the beginning or does it take some time?
So there's usually about a 30-second buffer period with no audio.
Thank you.
This is Officer Flores, Green Police. Anybody in there? Is anybody in there? We don't know. The dog's we've been trying to get him up for. Who lives there, sir? His name is Chris. I think his car is still in the drive. Yeah. Fire station. Yeah, bro. There's Officer Flores, Green Police. Anybody in there? Fire the. There's nothing to do. Let's go to the backyard. There's a dog right there. Maybe?
Okay, sir. Would that have been your body-worn camera for the actual fire portion?
That is correct.
Did you also have other duties that would have taken place then after fire came?
Yeah, the biggest one being scene security, just making sure nobody gets in and out, shouldn't be there, what have you.
Okay. And ultimately, after that scene security happened and the fire was put out, can you describe if a body was discovered?
That is correct. I was made aware that the firefighters did discover a body inside of the residence.
Okay. And ultimately, to your knowledge, when you were on scene, what occurred with that body?
Objection, hearsay.
All right, and Mr. Braley, is this for effect on the listener?
It's personal observation plus effect on the listener.
All right, the court will overrule the objection.
So the body was placed into an ambulance, and I provided security for the ambulance specifically for a short period of time.
So you were actually looking at the body?
Not directly, but obviously as they're loading it up, yes.
Okay. Sir, as part of your duties after that, did you also help conduct a neighborhood canvass?
That is correct. To my recollection, fire investigator Cobb showed up on scene, kind of assumed that role where I was at, and then I started canvassing the area for any footage or witnesses or anything.
Footage or witnesses?
Correct.
And can you just define what a neighborhood canvass means?
Neighborhood canvass, generally we're going door to door, trying to see if anybody heard anything, saw anything, if there's any cameras on any of the premises, and if there are, trying to review footage of any video that may have captured anything that could give us any insight or leads to follow up on.
Okay. Sir, did you conduct that neighborhood canvass at an address of 2436 15th Avenue Court with a homeowner of the name of Barbara Hillis?
That is correct.
All right, sir. And specifically, did you identify that residence of 2436 15th Avenue Court as having surveillance footage?
That is correct. There was a camera on the front of the property.
Okay. Can you generally describe what you did then?
So based on the fact that we did locate a camera, contacting the resident to see if they had footage. In this instance, she did have some video surveillance footage of some vehicles in the area.
Objection, hearsay.
I'm sorry?
Hearsay.
All right, the court will overrule the objection.
After reviewing the footage, that's collected and placed into evidence.
Okay. And so you're actually there on scene like we would have just seen. This would have taken place right after your body-worn camera that we just watched into.
That is correct.
Okay. And were you actually able to observe certain clips and incidents that night that would have happened just prior to your arrival?
Correct. That is correct.
Was it also capturing the fact of your arrival? Specifically, we saw in the body-worn cam that when you go, there are lights on the top of your vehicles.
Yes, I do recall watching a video of me entering the area from the camera.
Okay. And so you were able to actually see yourself on that footage?
That is correct.
Do you believe that that footage was altered or manipulated in any way based on your observations that night and seeing yourself?
I do not.
Sir, I'm going to approach with what's been marked as Exhibits 2, 2A, B, C, and D. Sir, I'm going to start with 2A for you, okay?
Okay.
Do you recognize that, sir?
I do.
What is that?
This will be a clip of the video surveillance footage I watched.
Okay. And would all of these have been from the same address, that 2436 15th Avenue Court?
They would be all from the same resident, yes.
Okay. Your Honor, by stipulation as to 2A?
Ms. Trujillo, Ms. Devereaux, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. By stipulation, the court will admit into evidence 2A, and you may publish when appropriate.
If we could publish 2A? That would be much earlier in the night. Is that fair based on the timestamps?
That is correct.
Have you reviewed other clips dealing with 2A through 2G about the aspects of events that you saw during that time period?
I'm sorry, are you referring to like the couple-hour time frame?
Correct.
That is correct.
And can you just tell the jury, when you were there on scene that night, what were the observations that you had of the video at that time?
From what I recall watching the video, I remember seeing a silver sedan enter and leave the area a few times in the span of a few hours. I think beginning around 2:50 in the morning, approximate time, then they left around that time, came back around 3:17 in the morning. Then again, you see the same vehicle leaving the area again around approximately 5 in the morning, where they return again a half hour later. And then they leave shortly after that again. At approximately 5:45, I do remember that's when we show up on scene.
Okay. And to be very clear, I've referenced we've just published 2A, but was that entire security system and that footage captured after that point?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to approach just in general with 2. And then also reference that there were other clips of the events that you noted in your report. Is that fair to say, sir?
That is correct.
And so overall, with the entire surveillance that would have been captured on People's Exhibit 2, do you have any concerns if the system was working properly that night?
I do not have any concerns, no.
Okay. Do you believe in that short time period in any way, shape, or form that it was materially altered or adjusted?
I do not.
Your Honor, at this time, I move for the admission of People's Exhibit 2.
Any objection to 2?
Confrontation.
All right. Can the parties approach? All right. The court will admit into evidence states 2, and then Mr. Prele, you may publish the clips. Will you just designate them as you play them?
Your Honor, I think it makes sense to publish them through a different witness
Okay,
at a
that's
different time.
That's fine.
Those are my questions at this time.
All right. Thank you. Any cross-examination from the defense? Go ahead, please.
No cross. Thank you.
No cross. All right. Thank you. Sir, you can leave the witness stand. Thank you.
Thank
sir.
you.
All right. The state may call their next witness.
Your Honor, the people call Officer Austin Berkeley.
Thank you. Sir, if you can please come forward and before you sit down, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Go and have a seat. Mr. Prele, you may begin when you're ready. Officer, can you just make sure you get as close to that microphone as is reasonable?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for your patience. Will you please introduce yourself to the jury, stating your full name, spelling your last?
Yes, my full name is Austin Berkeley. Last name spelled Burckley.
How are you employed?
I'm employed by the Greeley Police Department as a police officer
How long have you been employed at Greeley PD?
since 2021.
Okay. What was your duty on October 3rd, 2021?
My duties were, as a police officer, just taking routine calls, calls for service, investigating any crimes from misdemeanors or petty offenses up to felonies.
Okay. And sir, were you on a specific shift or with a specific partner at that time?
Yes, I was.
And who was that?
The partner was Officer Flores, and the shift was Lates.
And is that the individual that just walked out of the courtroom?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Ultimately, were the both of you dispatched for a fire at 2413 15th Avenue Court in Greeley, Weld County, Colorado?
Yes.
All right. Can you just basically tell us what your observations were at the time?
Upon arrival at the address?
Correct.
As we arrived on scene or at the residence, I noticed big flames coming out of the house, emerging. Just smoke billowing out of the house.
Okay. And sir, were you in full uniform at that time?
Yes, I was.
And does that include being equipped with a body-worn camera?
Yes.
If I could approach with People's Exhibit 6?
6, go ahead.
You recognize that, sir?
Yes, I do.
What is it?
It is a CD that has my body-worn camera footage on it.
And does that pertain to the fire and your response to that address?
Yes.
Is it fair and accurate?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I move for the admission of 6.
All right, thank you. From the defense, any objection?
Incorporate our previous objection.
In D45?
Correct.
All right, thank you. Noting the defendant's objection, I will overrule the objection and admit into evidence state 6, and you may publish where appropriate.
Can the court help me with timing? I know you have an obligation at what time? I don't want to take up more time than I have.
How
7 to 10 minutes?
we should be fine. We should be fine. Go ahead.
Well, I'll publish it later. Actually, I think that makes sense. Sir, would yours have been very similar to Officer Flores?
Yes.
Okay.
Objection calls for speculation.
I will sustain the objection, Mr. Praley. If you want to ask additional foundation on that, you can.
Were you both wearing a body-worn camera that day?
Yes.
Were you both there?
Yes.
Were you very close to each other?
Yes.
Do you think they would be similar?
Objection calls for speculation.
I'll overrule the objection.
Yes.
Okay. Sir, we've just published Officer Flores in dealing with the fire. Ultimately, the fire department came.
Yes.
Okay. And, sir, what was your role after the fire department came?
My role was to canvass the area for any potential video footage that was captured by the surrounding houses.
Okay. And did you do that?
Yes, I did.
Specifically, did you speak with a neighbor, Joe McDowell, at 2405 15th Avenue Court?
Yes, I did.
Is that in Greeley, Weld County, Colorado?
Yes, it is.
And in speaking with that homeowner in your neighborhood canvas, did you observe whether or not he would have any kind of surveillance system?
Yes, I did.
And what kind of system was that?
It was a Ring doorbell camera.
And sir, as you were there doing that neighborhood canvas, were you able to pull up portions of that?
Yes, I was.
Were you able to watch certain events on that while on scene?
Yes.
Okay. Specifically, were you able to watch events that would have just transpired, such as you guys arriving?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any concerns about the fairness and the accuracy of that footage in terms of what you were viewing?
No.
Okay. I'm going to approach with what's been marked as People's Exhibit 4.
4, go ahead.
Sir, do you recognize People's Exhibit 4?
Yes, I do.
And how do you recognize it?
Has my initials on it and dated.
Okay. And so you reviewed it in anticipation of your testimony today.
Yes, I did.
And as it pertains to that disk and the files contained on that disk, do you have any concerns that they were materially altered in any way, shape, or form?
No.
Is that specifically the video that you obtained that night from that neighbor at that location?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, I move for the admission of People's Exhibit 4.
Any objection to 4?
Confrontation.
All right, the court will overrule the objection and admit into evidence States 4.
Those are my questions at this time.
All right, thank you. Any cross-examination? Go ahead, please.
No cross-examination. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Sir, you can leave the witness stand. Thank you, sir.